Hey guys, welcome to another exciting C++ video. And in this video, we'll be creating a simple snake game in Visual Studio using OLC console game engine. Now, for that, OLC pixel game engine, sorry. So for that, first of all, we need this copy of OLC pixel game engine. You can find this engine in the web in the GitHub profile of One Lone Coder, and it's quite simple, but yet it's quite powerful. So first of all, we have this empty project right here. You can use dev C++ or whatever ID you want to follow along this tutorial, because this header file is really very easy to integrate. All you need to do is paste this header file. So to start with, I will create a new file, and I will call that main.cpp. So let's call this main.cpp, and here I will switch to my folder where the solution is situated for this project. And all I need to do is I need to paste this OLC pixel game engine header file here. And now if I refresh my solution, so yeah, you can see it's here. And all I need to do is I need to right click and include it in the project. So now what I can do is I can say include OLC pixel game engine to include this file. And what I will do is I will create my game. So I will just say class snake game public OLC colon pixel game engine, just like that. And to keep things simple, I will be doing everything in this header file, so it's not that much. So let's declare our entry point here, that is our int main, and let's create a snake game called game. And then what we need to do is we need to construct this game. So if the construction is successful, that is if game dot construct, and here I think I will have a screen width and screen height. So I will just say const int screen width, screen size of, let's say 50 blocks, and I will have pixel size of, let's say 2 blocks. Okay, so not 2 but 4 blocks. So what I can do is I can pass these things here. So I will just say screen size for screen size comma screen size, and then pixel size comma pixel size for width and the height of the pixel and the width and height of the screen. And if this construction is successful, then what I want to do is I want to run this game by calling game.start. Now our snake game, it has something called as a snake, so we will have a struct called coordinate for storing our coordinates, and all it contains is just two values. So I just can put it in one line, say x and y. Okay. That's all about this struct right here. And we can also have a struct called snake, and all it will have is it will have a coordinate called head, and it will have a vector of coordinates. So first of all I need to include vector, so hash include vector, and I will include a vector, so std vector of coordinates called body, and also it will have an integer showing the direction. by default this direction will be 0, meaning that the snake has no direction. And the head, it will be located at let's say screen size by 2 comma screen size by 2. Okay, we can rename this as field size to signify that it's the field that we are using. Okay, and not a screen, and this is pixel size. So what we can do is we can just copy these things here also. Instead of screen size, we can say pixel size, field size and pixel size. So pixel will be capital P, and the body will be empty by default. Okay, so what we need is we have two functions here. One is on bool. They both written booleans, signifying that those are running successfully. One is on user create, and other is on user update. So bool on user update. And on user update, it has one parameter, that is the delta time between two frames. So we will say float dt, suggesting that it's a delta time between two frames. And that's most probably the structure of our game. So first of all, we need a snake. So I will say snake. Okay, so what we need to do is first we need to set everything about our snake. Our snake is already, so I will say just say snake dot head equals to this whole stuff right here, and then we'll say snake dot body is empty, is empty, and then we'll say snake dot direction is equals to 0. Okay, that's it for now. And now let's have a function to draw everything. So I will call it is void draw, and this function will be responsible for drawing the snake. And also we have something called void user input. This function will be responsible for taking the input from the user. So taking input from the user, and I'm not commenting that. And also we need to a function to update the snake. So void update snake, which will update our snake. Right. So first things first, let's talk about user input. So if we get the key pressed, and for that we have a function called get key, and here we pass an OLC key for the key code. So OLC, let's say key up colon up, for the up key being pressed dot be pressed. So if the up key is pressed, what I want to do is I want to change the direction. So snake dot direction to have the value of 1. So the 1 value signifies that our snake is going upwards, and we can have 4 of these being up, down, left and right. And all of them will have different codes for representing up, down, and left and right. Okay, next for updating the snake, what we need to do is first we need to update the head. So to update the head, what we will do is we will switch on the snake's direction. So snake dot direction sorry, we'll switch to the snake.direction, direction direction, and we'll have 4 case for each direction. So case 1 for up, and case 2 for the bottom, and so on. So just let's quickly write that case. So what we will do is the snake's head, it's going to lose one coordinate at y. So snake's dot head dot y will be reduced by 1 so that it goes upwards. Okay, and the same thing for down, the y will increase by 1, so plus equals to 1 for case 2, and for case 3, the x coordinate of the snake, that snake will be going towards left, so the x coordinate will reduce by 1, and for case 4, the x coordinate will be increasing by 1. So that's basically it for basic construction of snake's heads movement. And now we are going to do something about draw. So first, before drawing the snake, we need to clear the screen. For that, OLC has a very interesting function called clear, and it takes a OLC pixel. In this case, I will be using OLC : dark, let's say magenta here, and for the head, say fill rect, and it will take snake dot head dot x and snake dot head dot y for x and y coordinates, and it will be a square of 1 and 1 size for just now. Okay, we can always modify it. And also what we want to do is, let's say we want to fill the snake with OLC green color. So at this point, in user update, all we need to do is we need to call these 3 functions. But in a snake game, the snake game is probably going to run very fast, so we need to keep track of speed. So we will have something called as an int speed, SPEED, and for now I will just set speed to 1 to signify that it's the lowest speed and 8 is the higher, and we have something like int max speed, and let's set max speed to some value like 8. Let's say float frame time equals to max speed minus speed. Why we are doing this max speed minus speed? Because when the speed value is low, this frame time will be really high, and when the speed value is higher, the value of 7, then this frame time will be less, and then we have something like a delta frame. So we'll have something like a delta frame time, and I will set the delta frame time to be something like, let's set 10 for now. Okay, delta frame time equals to 10. We'll check this, and we will also multiply this with delta frame time, and also we will have another field to keep track of the time. I will call this accumulated time. So I will say ACC time or accumulated time, and at the beginning of the game we will set accumulated time to 0, so ACC time will be equals to 0. But as a frame progresses, what we will do is we will add our delta time to our accumulated time. So we will say accumulated time plus equals to our delta time, and then we'll simply check if our accumulated time is greater than or equals to our frame time, and if so, then we will perform our logic, and at the end we will set accumulated time 0 once again. So that will basically handle our control over time. So now what we need to get input, so user input, and then we need to update our snake, and after our snake is updated we need to draw. So let's have a quick look at what we got right now, and we got some error showing that unresolved external symbol LC pixels. And I forgot to mention one thing, that before if you have already following his tutorials, then you will see that to use OLC pixel engine we need to define a macro called OLC pixel game engine, sorry, PGE stands for pixel game engine, and then application. Now I am not a very expert in using OLC pixel game engine. This is perhaps the first time I am using OLC pixel game engine. One reason is because it's simple to use and it will save me some time. So we'll define this macro at the top of our file, so DEFINE, not DEDINE, and that should fix all those kinds of issues, I guess. Is check set our frame time to a smaller value, so let's say delta frame time equals to 5 here. Let's run this code once again, and once again we see a black screen for no reason. What I would like to do is I would like to print the accumulated time every time, so I will just include file stream, and here I will just see out accumulated time. Okay. And I need to use std colon in front of them. So now here I can see that accumulated time is jumping, and I guess I put the delta frame time a very large number. I will just use something like 0.5 something, a very small amount of time for the delta frame time. This should be perfect, I guess, because technically we are increasing our frame rate by 100, and yeah, when our speed is 1, this is the speed of our snake, going slow and slow and slow, and if our speed is, let's say, 6, then our snake is going much faster than this. Now one thing that I would like to do is I would like to update the direction at every frame to have a seamless control by the user. So I will just call user input at the very outside, better kind of control on my snake. Okay. Now what I can do is our snake have a const block size of let's say 60, not 60, but let's say 4. Okay, so what I want to do is this screen will be of field size time block size. So I can just put it here, let's say int calc size, that stands for the calculated size, and it will be equals to our field time the block size. So we just calculate the size here, and then instead of field size we will be using our calculated size to put here. And also what I want to do is whenever we are filling the rect, I want to multiply this with the block size, and same goes for here. We will be multiplying it with the block size, and let's put it in 3 lines. And here the rectangle will be of size block size. Okay, so it will be no longer a 1 by 1 rectangle, but block size by block size rectangle. So it will just act as a zooming factor for our snake game. It will just zoom the game a little bit more so that it's clear to you. And now as you can see, our snake is running like this. Now that being said, so we have both calc size and calc size here. Clear the screen. Let's reduce this 50 to 40 to fit to our screen, and just run this one more time to see if everything is working as we expect. And yeah, it's quite good, it's working fine. And currently our snake has a very high speed, so I will lower the speed and set the delta frame time to something like 0.1. okay, so now we need to talk about the food. So what we need to do is we need to have a coordinate of our food. So we'll say coord food, and this will be the coordinate for our food until our snake eats. So we'll have a function called update food, and here inside update food it will be a void. Inside update food, what we will do is we'll check if the coordinate of the head, so snake dot food snake dot head dot x is equals to, let's say, food dot x, and also we will check if snake dot head dot y is equals to food dot y, and then we need to push a new element to our body. So we will just say snake dot body dot push back, and we will just push back the snake's head for simplicity. And also what I think is that our coordinates, they need not be of type float, they can simply be of type integer, and it's fine even if you use unsigned integer. So I'll just change those to integers, and apart from them that there is not that much change. So now we need a function to generate food, so I will call it void gen food. Sorry for the background noises. And all we need to do is we need to include a header file called, we can generate random numbers in many ways, but the easiest way is to use stdlib and a function inside stdlib called rand. So what we will do is we will say food equals to, and here we will set the x and y coordinates. So x will be rand here. So I will just say field size for X, and the same thing goes for Y. And whenever the snake eats the food, I need to call this gen food. And also what I need to do is at the beginning of the game I need to generate a food, so I will call gen food. Now whenever the snake eats the food, its body should be updated, so we will now update the body here. So update the body, and to update the body we need some temporary variables. So I will say int position or the previous position, and in current position site even for the current position, and the previous position, that is pre position, will be of heads position. So it will not be a int, actually it will be a quad. So I will say quad pre position and quad current position, and peak position will be of head. So s in a case snake dot head, and it should be done before we update the body. So update the head, so we have the track of the previous position of the head. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to say body, and the first element of the body it will have, so snake dot body, sorry, snake dot body 0. It will have, I will store its position into the current position. So current position will be the current position of the body piece, and then I will update the body piece's position. So I will say body 0. So body 0 will have the previous position of the head. So what I am actually trying to do here, let me first explain. So snake dot body, so we have our head, and whenever we are updating the head we need to keep track of the previous location of the head, because the body, first body part, it will take the previous position of the head. So whenever we are updating the head, we are taking the position of the head into a variable called previous position, and then we are simply updating the body's first part's position to the position where the head was before, that is the previous position, and the first part's position I will storing that position as current position. So what I can actually do here, I can run a for loop. So for, let's say, each body part, so for I will take a reference. So body part in snake dot body, what I can do is I can loop through every body part, and I can do this. So I can just simply say that the current position is equals to the value of the body, and then the body will have the previous position. And finally what I want to do is I want to change the previous position to the current position, so that it changes the whole movement kind of thing. So the head's position, it will be the first body's position, and then the first body's position, it will be the second body's position, and the second body's position, body part's position, will be the third body part's position, and so on. So now we need to draw the body of the snake. So here I am drawing the head. Now I need to draw the body, and it's quite simple. I will just run a for loop. So for let's say auto @body belongs to body, snake dot body, for every part. What I want to do is I want to fill a rectangle of, let's say, OLC dark green here, and it will be simply body instead of snake dot head. To represent that, we are having the body here. So we also need to draw the food, and to draw food I will draw the food as a circle. So for that I will say, suppose it's called fill circle, if I can remember. So fill circle, and it takes a position and a radius. So it will take food dot x times block size, and then it will take food dot y times block size, and also it will have a radius of block size block block size by 2, I guess. We'll just check this thing. If it doesn't work, we can fix this easily. And I want it to be of color red, so I'll say OLC red. It's being updated again and again. And to see that, we have called gen food here, but actually gen food should have been called here at on user create. But as you can see, you can clearly go through the screen right now, and there is a little bit issue of offset, but we can easily fix it. So now, coming to fixing that problem, first of all we need to call update food at, let's say, whenever we are updating snake, we are also going to update the food. And also we need to add a little offset here of block size by 2 to put everything in center. So I will do the same thing here. We can just actually put these parameters in different lines to make things easier. So here also I will put this box size by 2, and this is for x coordinate, this is for y coordinate, this is for the radius, and this is the color by which I am filling the food. So now if I run this code, it should actually do everything properly. So here is my snake, and it eats the food, and then it grows a body part, and then it eats another food, it grows another body part, and then it eats another food and it grows another body part, and it eats food and it grows another body part. So yeah, it's kind of a working, except the fact that our snake can go outside the screen and it can remain there for eternity. So what we need to do is we need to check if our snake's head's position is outside the frame. So for that we can simply run through a quick test here. So we'll say if snake dot head head dot x is greater than field size, then we want to set the head to 0. So snake dot head dot x is going to be 0, and if the head is greater than or equals to field size, the same thing goes if the snake's head size is less than or equals to 0, and I want to it be of size field size. So I'll say snake dot head dot x equals to field size, and the same thing will be applicable for y also. For the y-axis. So I'll have y here, y here, y here, y here, and it's going to control the wrap of the snake. So now if I run this code, you can see that there's going to be some issue here. If I get outside the screen, and if I get above the screen, this one works. If I go outside the 0, it takes me here, and if I go outside here, it takes me here. So first of all, it should be, I think, less than 0, not equals to 0, and it should be a field size. This one thing is perfect, but if it's greater than field size, then the x should be of size 0. It should have a new space of 0, and it's following the direction, so it should increase. Now let's see it in action. Well, these kind of tweaks, they always happen, so you don't need to be so much cautious about. So this part is working fine, this part is working fine, this part is working fine, and finally this part is working fine. Now as you can see, we can just change the direction like this, but in a real snake game you cannot go to the opposite direction just by pressing the opposite direction key. So to fix that, what we can do is we can just simply check here that if direction snake dot direction is not equals to 2, only then we want to allow this to happen. And the same thing goes here. We'll just check if snake's direction is not equals to 1, and if it's not equals to 1, then we want to allow this. The same thing goes here. If it's not equals to 4, not 3, not equals to 4, that means if it's not going towards the right, then it can go towards the left, and if it's not going towards the left, then it can go towards the right. And now we have another issue that we haven't faced yet, but I thought that we should have faced right now. That is, whenever we are generating food, the food might be generated inside any part of the snake's body. So we need to also check that if the food is being generated inside the snake's body. So what we will do is we will just simply run a for loop. Say for we will loop through the body part. So auto body belongs to snake.body, and we will check if food.x is equals to body.x and food.y equals to body.y. And if that's the case, then we once again want to generate the food. So gen food, and also we want to check it for the head as well. So if it's just being created at the position where head is, so we also want to generate the food. This will keep us from not having the food generated inside the snake's body or snake's head. Now Also we want to keep track of the score of the snake, so have like a we'll have a little bottom side below our main field, where we can keep track of the food and other stuffs for our main game screen. Right now we only have the main game screen. If we run this code, you will see that it's working quite perfectly. So here is our snake, and it's going like crazy. It's going like crazy, 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 and so on. And here what I will do is I will have a variable called score. So I will have it somewhere like here. So I will say int score, and I will say int delta score. We can use the integers, and it's not like it's going to be a lot more. So int delta score for what kind of score should be added to our snake, and here we will set our delta score to be equals our speed. And now every time when we eat something, so basically this block specifies that eat the food. So whenever we eat the food, what we want to do is, apart from adding one part to the snake and generating the food once again, we can say our score is increased by our delta score. Okay, and here we have already, I guess, set score to 0. Score is equals to 0, and everything that's here I want to create, save these things as a, I just want to first name this as a draw snake, draw game, draw snake game, and we will replace this as draw snake game. And also everything here I just want to put these things into a separate function in case we want to modify this game in a later version. So let's say void init snake game, and we can paste everything here. And also at the time of creation we will init the snake game, and the same thing goes for gen food also. So we will put gen food here. Okay, so now we need to print the score. Now to print the score, I will have a bottom place. So I will have, let's say, const int bottom, and bottom will be of let's say of 4 pixels, not that much larger at 4, but let's say bottom will be of 10 pixels, and bottom screen, and we will have bottom screen in case of height. So at this will be calc size plus bottom screen, and we will draw a line separating the bottom screen. So we'll have where we will print the score. So we will have our bottom screen score, and here I will first draw a line. So we'll say draw line. Draw line takes the positions. So we will say we'll have obviously from 0 comma our width. So it's called whatever it's called yeah, field size 0 comma field the y axis y coordinate will be field 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 size times block size plus 1, and from here it will be drawn till this is the first coordinate and this is going to be the second coordinate. I will just put everything in a little bit good looking fashion. So for here we will use draw this line up to here. So these are our x1 and y1, and these are our x2 and y2, and also I can specify a color to draw my line, and in this case I want to use OLC : YOLO to draw my skin, to draw the line. And after the line is drawn, what I want to do is I want to draw the score. So I will say draw string. The functions are very straightforward. This is a very good thing about OLC Pixel Game Engine, and it will be drawn just here, giving just a little offset. Let's say we're giving this plus 1 as hard coded plus 2 as hard coded value. Give it like this, and then after the coordinates, these are the coordinates for the string. So this is the x and y of the string. Just give me a sec. So these are the basically x and y for the screen. Yeah, it's just checked whether it's recording or not, and then we specify our text. We call it score. We wrap it inside a std string. So first need to include a std string, so we'll include string header file. We use string, and so score will be wrapped inside string, and it will be string is inside std namespace. So std : string score, and we will add something. So let's say we separate this here. So std : string, and we call this our score text, and this will be this string score, and then it will have a colon, and then we will std : to string 2 underscore string, and here we will pass our score, so score, yeah. So that will convert the whole thing into a score text, and then we can pass the score text here, and after the score text we can pass the color. So in this case I will be writing the score in white. So let's say OLC : white. That we are drawing at the end of the screen. We're starting here, but rather I think we should start from a little offset, like block size. This should be perfect. Okay, and now we should be able to see the score. Another problem is that this thing is not working as intended, but we can always check this a little bit later. Let's first have the score. So as you can see, the score is right there at the bottom of the screen, and as you can see, the score is increasing as our snake is eating and eating and eating like this. So the score went to 7, and now So the first things is that there is still a little problem here, because whenever it's less than 0 I am setting it to field size, but ideally I should set it to field size -1, I guess, gap. So what I want to do is I want to also check this for field size -1. This is just doing some experiments and fine-tuning the values until you have something that you can work with. And this obviously should be field size -1, because field size -1 is the last cell to count with, and now we have that one cell there problem solved. And also what I want to do apart from that is I want to set this bottom screen size to 12, and also reduce this to something like 36. Okay, just to make this thing look a little clearer, and the score is overlapping with the line. That's the reason. And what I want to do here is, here when we draw the score at the bottom screen, I want to start drawing from, let's say, block size +3 here. This is just a little offset to set the y-axis of the score. Look, yeah, this looks quite good. And also to begin with, I will set the speed as, let's say, 2. Now coming to the home screen, what I can do is I can have different states of the game. So for that, let's create an enum class called game states, and it will have 2 game states right now. One is classic, one is I can make everything capital, classic mode, and one is called let's say what can I say, it's menu mode. Okay, so we have a game state called game state, and by default the game state is set to be game states menu. For now let's say it's classic, and if it's classic, then I want to do all these things. So I will say if game states classic, then I want to, and this is if our game state is equals to game state classic, then I want to do these things. Okay, and these include updating our input for the snake game. To finish things, I guess I will include a menu and ending screen. So we'll also have a game state called end, the die, game over, sorry, game over seems like professional. So we will check here at let's say update snake. After updating body, if our snake is dead. So for now, let's say the condition for the death is when the snake hits its own body. So what we will do is we will simply loop through all the body parts once again, and here we will simply check if our snake.head.x is equals to some body part, and the same thing goes for the y coordinate also. That means if our head is coinciding with any body part, so just do this. We will say its game state colon colon end. So our game state will be equals to game states colon colon game over. And let's create a function called game over here. Okay, that denotes our game over state. So void game over. So at game over, what we want to do is we typically want to draw a string like at coordinates, let's say field with field, let's say 2 times block size, 2 times velocity block size. I will just modify this as needed, and at here for y I am also using 2 times block size, and the text will be game over. Something like that. And after that we will draw our final score. So draw string. I'll just copy this whole thing here, and this will be in red, so we'll say OLC colon red, and our clear color will be in a little bit different, so let's say clear in OLC colon yellow, sorry, OLC colon dark blue. I guess I will use dark blue, and actually we can use very dark red. It doesn't actually matter for this tutorial, but still. Then we will draw our final score here. So I will just copy this whole thing from here. I just don't want to waste much of time. So here I will say that we want to say here your score, and then it's going to be located at, let's say, block size times 4. Okay, and then if you press, so if get key, we'll see key space dot b press. What we want to do is we want to switch to our here, that is our classic mode. So we will say game state. Let's come here, game state is equals to game states colon classic, and we'll just give a string here saying and this one I want to put it at the end, so I will just copy the position from here, this one. Okay. And it will say here, and it will say, it will be in yellow, and this will be in white, and it will say press space to continue. Okay. And wherever we switch to classic, we also need to init our snake game, so that way our snake game will be initialized. And yeah, all we need to do is now use this draw end skin whenever the case is different. So if, so we'll just check else if our game state is equals to game state colon game over, I want to call this function instead of other functions, that is game over. Okay, so yeah, it's getting quite populated here, so it's hard to find, but still we can manage to do it. And now if we run this code, we have our snake and everything is working as expected. So let's first grow our snake. We have a little bit of more speed now, so we are using little higher speed now. So we are eating our food. Come on. Here like this, and now if I hit, it says game over, and after that your score is this, and press space to continue. Now one thing is that this press space to continue, it should be resized, so let's just rearrange this whole thing. What I think I should do is, instead of having 2 times this, I will have 3 times this here, and I will draw the string at 5 here, and also it takes a third parameter, I guess, for scale. By default the scale is 1, and what I want to do is, I want to separate this in 2 lines, so I will say space backslash m. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but if it works, I will just put this at block size -2, so it's a little bit up from the bottom. And yeah, and final thing, I just want to move this to block size ×2, and this at block size -1, and this space, and to continue. And just look at the whole thing one more time to have my eyes placed, I guess. So yeah, here is my snake, and it starts doing, and for some reason it hits its body, and then it says game over, press space to continue. And what we can do is, we can give 2 spaces here, 2 spaces here, and we can say this to be 4. And also here there is some issue that I need to check. The direction is, we should allow, when we are going upwards, oh yeah, this one thing shouldn't be here actually, because the direction actually controls the snake, so we don't need this to be here. What we can do is, we can check this condition when the button is pressed. So this, and we will just give an %, and then we will say if the snake direction is not equals to this. Okay, so this will be like our condition here, and the same thing will be done to these all buttons presses as well. I was just a little bit careless, I guess, to not notice this. Okay. And now it should work. It should fix that going issue. So we close the parentheses, and then we can simply space and give an enter here. Let's just put these things in new line. Okay, so we're checking this whenever this is not equals to 4 and this is not equals to 3. So now that problem should also be fixed, and we can run this code once again. And just like that, I am pressing the opposite button, but as you can see I cannot go there except the up and down whenever I am in vertical motion, and horizontal motion, and whenever I am in vertical motion I cannot press any other button than left or right, because pressing the same button will not change the direction. And now if I hit to my own body, it's very hard because this snake is of a very small size. Now you will say that game is over, your score is this, and press space to continue, and it will open a new game. So yeah, that's it for today guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.